Hi, everyone. Hey. Everybody migrated. Everybody migrated over from Eric's channel. I love it. Hi. Bookmarked page. I saw your comment about the thumbs down. You know, hi guys. That's pretty funny that you said, how is the rudeness already? You know what? You're gonna have haters. Not everybody's gonna like me. How's everybody doing? How was the eclipse energy for everyone? Hi, JC. I'm live. Is everybody feeling okay? It was pretty heavy. Thanks. My good vibe shirt. It was pretty heavy. I know there was a lot of purging. You were energetic and happy today. That's good. You probably released a lot of stuff. There were a lot of endings that happened this weekend, a lot of realization. That reading. You know what, Andrea? I'm seeing 555 everywhere too. And whenever I see that, like, there are always really big changes that happen. And I think, really, again, could something just stay the same for a little bit? This Virgo needs a rest. Ravenous, yeah. Well, all that snow you have, Kara. I can't imagine. Kara's in Mount Shasta, and they got, I don't know, how many feet of snow did you get? Because that's not inches, that's feet. Trying to keep yourself out of trouble. Yeah. Cynthia, I see threes a lot too, as well. Amber's done a clean sweep of her whole life. That's good. Yeah, I think we all need a break. It was 65 degrees today. I'm in the Midwest. It was 65 degrees. Close to 2 feet. Oh my gosh. You know, when you see repeating numbers like that, it just means that it's like an evolution that's happening with you. And it's kind of a resetting. A lot of people think that it's like something that they need to follow, like the numbers that they need to follow, which is fine. Like if you want to follow the numbers, that's fine. But so the repeating numbers it's kind of like preparing your soul for changes in your life and things that you're going through. I see repeating numbers every single day. I know that my life is constantly going to be changing. Well, Cal, of course it's 70 degrees and of course. Thanks for rubbing it in. It was 65. It was beautiful today. It was so beautiful today. Cleaning house. Well, the energy now, it's going to feel a lot lighter than it has been. So everybody kind of went through like their first test of the year. And it's not like whether you passed it or not. It doesn't matter. But I think that we're all in the process of ending a lot of things. And it doesn't even have to be like physical manifestation things that you're ending. Could actually just be like thought processes, ideas, belief systems that you've had for a really long time, or belief systems you had for a short time, and then realize that's not right. So I my left eye, or like right above my left eye, all day long. Like it, and I took a nap in the middle of the afternoon to see if I could make it go away, and did some Reiki work, and it was just so it's all going to play out, you know, wherever you're kind of holding that really pent up energy in your body may come out in a physical in a physical way. This week Hi, Hector. This week is going to be kind of an up and down. I know everybody's like, shut up, Betsy. Don't tell me it's going to be an up and down week. It's going to kind of be a roller coaster ride, but only because we have the Sun and Pluto conjunction that's going to happen. And that's like a yearly thing. And that's just kind of, Pluto's all about transformation. It rules Scorpio. So, and we all have to kind of go through that unconscious dark side of us. So after all of these endings, it's going to be pretty intense for a couple of days. But Venus is in Sagittarius as of today. So that led up. So our Scorpio transit that we've been going through for the last 6 years of all the Scorpio transits, and last year with the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And I don't even think it's going to be a meltdown. Like, I'm not here to try to put fear into you guys. It has to happen for evolution. This is like something that we all have to go through to, it's all about looking at your shadow side, and making sure that you're being honest with yourself when it comes to your shadow side. Are you kind of just sitting in it and beating yourself up and in that woe is me thing? Or are you learning the lessons when they come up? Are you seeing the repeating patterns? Are you seeing the lessons that you haven't learned, or the lessons you have yet to learn? Well, I'll be completely honest. I had so much pent up energy yesterday and like I could not fall asleep. And it was finally like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes and finally fell asleep after that. Like, crying is the best way to release energy. And for a Virgo to admit that she cried her eyes out for half an hour is a pretty big deal. So that's why like that beat up look is on my face. When somebody had mentioned, they're like, that look on Betsy's face is priceless. I felt all sorts of beat up this morning. Yeah, triggers are going to happen, and people are going to project onto you. No, I haven't done any tarot yet. We just started like 8 minutes ago. I'm waiting for everybody to get here. Yeah, Emily, I have been like, for me to get like a solid 5 or 6 hours of sleep is amazing these days. Amazing. Sometimes you just need it from one Virgo to another. That's true. And Virgos hold on to that stuff. I almost cursed. Virgos hold on to it like a lot. So let it go, man. Let the feelings go. Let it all out. It's okay. It's hidden why society says that it looks weak if we cry, or it looks weak if we're showing a vulnerable side. So what kind of fiesta is this? You need a nap after that fiesta. That's that kind of yeah, the mood swings are normal. Don't beat yourself up over the mood swings. Excuse me. And like, so much chakra clearing is happening. My throat chakra, I'm pretty sure this. Thank you, Patricia. That's very sweet of you. I really appreciate it. You've been watching me for a while. I'm blessed to have you. Oh, Sydney. Good. So, and then, the Jupiter Neptune, that happens on Sunday. So like next week, there are 3 squares between Jupiter and Neptune this year. And when Jupiter, it's kind of like fantasy land because Jupiter wants you to like get going and do your things and like be really excited about it. And Neptune is like, is that really what you want to do? Okay, let's play that game. And could lead you down the rabbit hole, and you could get lost. So be very careful and really discerning with the plans that you're making, especially this weekend. And like, especially when it comes to other people, like be super discerning with how you're reacting or interacting with other people, because you may like have this whole fantasy life playing out in your head and like everything is just wonderful and dandy. And then Monday comes and you're like, who was that person yesterday? Like, I don't even know who that is. Oh, happy birthday, Jess. Capricorn readings are still on special, by the way. The birthday special. You can check the description box below this video for that. Holy. See, Tommy, that's what I did last night. I was up until 4 a.m. last night. Thanks for being here while your insomnia is going on. Yeah, that happens, Sarah. It just does. And it's, I mean, like, that's one of those things, like the connection between another person. You can't just make it go away. Hi, Ryan. Fancy seeing you here. "2018 was rough." It was rough. But and everybody thinks that 2019 is just going to be like really fun and we're going to have like a really good time. It's going to be kind of some more pretty heavy energy, but it's really like the way that you go about using it and not necessarily like, don't take advantage of the energy that's coming in. You really need to be able to like take the time and be like super discerning with everything that you're doing right now. Because if you take a direction and it doesn't go, it's not that you like went the wrong direction, because failures are like perceived, right? That it's really actually just a lesson that we're learning to not do that same thing again. So every time that you go in that direction and it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, like stop and ask yourself, why didn't it work out that way? Not necessarily something that you did, but maybe that was the environment that you weren't supposed to be in, or it was the situation, or it was the person, or whatever. It is how you handle it. I tagged you on my story on Instagram. Oh, that's so cool, Rudy. I love that. I didn't see it though. Did you just tag it on your Instagram? Because I haven't seen it. No more heavy energy. I'm sorry to tell you that it's not, I mean, it's not going to be the easiest year, but it's going to be so good. It's going to be really good. It's all really how you use it. So fast, guys. Sorry. I wish I could slow it down. I don't even know. So many ideas and feelings. You know what, Patricia? I was going through that today. Like all the stuff that I want to do this year, like everything. I have so many things that I want to do and incorporate into this year. And I literally have no idea how to do it yet. So those are the things that I'm talking about. Like all the energy is direct right now. Like every single planet is direct right now. And this weekend was all about kind of like, we didn't have any air energy going on until today when the moon went into Aquarius. So your logic wasn't even working on it. Like we weren't thinking clearly. And so this weekend was all about paying attention to all those emotions and flushing all of that stuff out and going on. And then as this forward movement happens, things will, like, there's this portal that's going on right now between today and, well, actually it was the eclipse day, which was the 5th, and the 20th, right before we have the next eclipse on the 21st. And it's all forward movement. So you're going to feel like you have so many things that you need to get done like yesterday. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going in a direction and you feel like it's not going the way that you want it to go, or it's not happening fast enough, or something isn't going, it can possibly make you feel like you're not doing enough, or you're not getting there, or I mean, it's like rush, 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 but hold on, wait, but rush, but hold on, wait. the whole beating yourself up right now is not going to do anybody any good. Write it all down, like the ideas that you have, the things that you want to do. And then as the energy kind of like starts moving forward, there will be a time and a place, probably right after the next eclipse, because it's going to be a full lunar eclipse in Leo. And it's all about, I mean, Leo is so confident, and Leo is so, they speak from their heart, and they do things with a lot of fire and a lot of passion. And they're, it's a fixed energy, but it's fixed fire. I mean, you can't exactly the only way you can contain fire is if you like build a structure around it, right? So, and with eclipse energy, you can't build a structure around eclipse energy. So it's like this fight to the finish. Plan things, do things in a steady pace. Don't feel like you have to get everything done today. Kara, I think that, I don't know what that is. I know you said that to me earlier about like the whole giggling and your nemesis. Yeah. When is it going to happen? You know what? The holy hippie, the North Node just moved out of Leo into Cancer. So you've probably already, like in the last couple of years, you've probably already been in a stage of changing your whole identity. Because that's what happened to me before, like 3 years ago, when the North Node was in Virgo, 3 years ago, it was like this whole identity change for me. Like the Betsy that everybody knew, she wasn't even available anymore. She had like left the building. So I don't know, Izzy, if you're feeling really good, that's awesome. I like that. I like to hear that. Well, that's what the North Node does for you, is it changes your identity. If you have your North Node in Cancer right now, and even just Cancerians in general are going through this whole identity thing. When are these cycles going to start finishing so I can begin new ones? You can already begin new ones. There are cycles completing and new ones starting all the time. That's what I'm kind of trying to say, is don't let the energy get you stuck. But if you feel like you can't move forward yet and you really want to do a lot of things, do it in a slower pace. It doesn't have to be, I feel like everybody kind of tries to make it harder than it has to be, I guess. It needs to be, if you feel like moving forward, then move forward. If you feel like you have to like sit for a day and think about it and get through things, that's okay too. And if there's that push-pull going on, figure out what it is that's like really driving you crazy, or what's really making you, is it like a perceived notion that you're supposed to be doing something else? Is it a perceived notion that you should be doing something at all? Does it, because for example, there are times, especially when I was sick, like in December when I was sick, the whole point of me being sick was so I could like sit and rest and purge all of the negative things that happened to me in 2018 and everything. So there's wrong way to end a cycle and start a new one. You can always like, it's, some people are doing it all. I start cycles and end cycles all the time. If you're forced to sit, then sit. If you feel like you can't, oh no, we don't like getting sick at all. Man, that was like the worst. It was so, I felt terrible because all I wanted to do was work and I had no voice for like 2 weeks. Well, this energy is going to help you get unstuck. You felt what energy come into your life a week before New Year's? What was going on a week before New Year's? Oh, Mercury went direct, or came out of its shadow period. My headache just like kind of went away. Just like right after I talked about it, it's gone now. I don't know who did that for me, but thanks. Thanks for that. I'm going to start shuffling the cards here in a minute. Well, this energy, sure, just make sure you don't burn out. Make sure you don't burn out, because Capricorn is all about getting things taken care of, getting things done. It's the goat that goes to the top of the mountain and it doesn't stop till it reaches the top. So, and there's so much energy in Capricorn right now. We have Mercury, we have Pluto, we have Saturn, we have this, I'm forgetting something. What else? Pluto, Saturn, Mercury, the sun. Oh, the sun, of course. Oh, that's it. But with this Mars and Uranus also in Aries, and Uranus is now direct, heading back towards Taurus. That's really fun. Chiron is in its final degrees of Pisces. You would rather chat than pull cards. Yeah, but I know there's a lot of people that also want to know the cards. Hi, Steven. Steven, I think you're supposed to be tired right now. Honestly, I think that I don't know. There's something that like, I feel like you're kind of going through, hi, Sydney. I think you're kind of going through a transformational process, right? Like your body is trying to acclimate to all of these energy shifts. Yes, thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you for saying that. That's what I was trying to say. I know, you're such an alien. I don't know how you do it. Chance to chat. I'm good at it. I got a lot of words. Got a lot of words. Oh man, Lisa, so you've been feeling the last Chiron and Pisces transit, like the last 7-8 years, pretty rough then, huh? My Chiron's in Taurus, so I have about 8 years, and then it's like Uranus will move out of Taurus, Chiron will move into Taurus, and my life will go all the healing when it comes around my structures and environment and all of the jazz, all of the 3D stuff that I don't even want to deal with. You know, healing seed of love. We do love to talk when we're in a good mood. Virgos do love to talk when we're in a good mood. Yep, I'm good with my words. I say a lot. Sometimes I don't when I say a lot, but I still say a lot. No. Super motivated Taurus here. Good, Emily. I'm so glad to hear that, because you guys have had some rough times. And with Uranus going into your sign, get as motivated as you possibly can. Because that, like, I don't know if you remember the feeling of Uranus. That's true, Stephen. You really do say a lot when you shouldn't. I don't know if you guys remember the heavy energy that happened like last May, in May of 2008. Was it May? End of April, beginning? Yeah, it was May. It was like the 13th of May or 14th of May. Uranus moved in. That was really heavy. I mean, it was like electrifying and heavy. And that's going to happen again in this May. Taurus in your 7th house. I'm going to have to use my brain for that, Michelle. I don't really want to use my brain right now. Honestly. No, it's not. I wouldn't really say that it's the same. If you're like, my Uranus is in Scorpio, which is just opposite Taurus, which is really interesting, because that means that Uranus, the way it's going to affect me and my 7th house. So that makes sense. Is that right? No, that's not right. Michelle, what's your rising sign? Anyway, so yeah, Uranus. That totally makes sense. Duh. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. So, it'll probably be affecting your relationships this year, is what Uranus is going to do if it's in your 7th house. And, which is kind of the same on my end because Scorpio is where my Uranus is. So if you have Uranus in your 7th house, I also have Uranus in my 7th house. It's not like a breakdown of relationships. It's more of a buildup because Uranus wants to make things steady. Yes, it comes in and kind of like shakes things up a little bit, but it's just removing all of the old crap. And if you've already removed all of the old crap, it's just like every other planet's going to do, right? We always you have to have that stuff removed out of your life before you can have new stuff brought in. You have to have that space made in your life before you can move all the good stuff in. And if you feel like you've had a lot of things removed lately in the last couple of years, this energy that happened this last weekend was kind of about closing final chapters in your life. And it is really all about bringing in new beginnings. Eclipse seasons do that. Like the July eclipses we had in 2018 were really, I had some serious family healing stuff that went on in July and August. Ryan, I saw that you put up your birthday. I think your Uranus is in Scorpio also. Wow, that makes sense. Well, because Uranus was actually in your 8th house too. And that's probably that's how it's been for it was like that for the last 8 years, Aries. So that's probably why for the past 3 years, you've been cutting people out of your life to make space. That was like the transformation that you had to do in order for you to get prepared for this. I told you guys, I know just enough astrology to do a little bit of damage. I would love to be able to read everybody's charts all the time, but it's like so much information that you have to hold into your head. And I already have so much information in my head. Jonathan, I'm not really going that deep. Actually, if you want to know, I'm not really going that deep. You would have to go to like a trained astrologer. I've taken astrology classes and I've done a lot of self-teaching with astrology. But again, I am not a proclaimed astrologer. I know just enough to do a little bit of damage and then walk away. Do like things. Skinny high. I don't know. When will he? I have no idea. Scorpio on hiatus. Let's see what the cards have to say for the week. I'm curious, actually. I know everybody's like, no cards. I'm curious to see what the cards have to say. We're 30 minutes in. Oh, don't beat up the Scorpio. That's not nice. They're not having the easiest time right now. They just had a lot of really harsh transits for the last 3 to 6 years. Like you gotta kind of ease up on the people that are like dealing with a lot of things in their charts. You didn't miss anything, Zena. We were just starting the cards. Do it. Open up the deck. You can just give it to her later. It'll have your energy all over it. She'll appreciate it. It's fine. Hi, Allison. Oh my gosh, going way too fast. Chat is going fast. Allison, you got a lot of big things coming for you. I wouldn't worry. It's not going to be really easy, but everybody's like, bookmark page. That's so true. But Scorpio transits are over. Just the inner planets, not the outer planets anymore. Really are huge recovery mode right now. My heart goes out to a Scorpio, man. Stop it, Stephen. Stop it. Stop putting that out in the universe. This stuff for Aries sounds awful. I don't want you guys to look at it like that. Like, don't look at, listen to me. I'm like little Miss Pessimistic, happy person. I don't want you guys to look at like all of the transitions and stuff as negatives, because when you do that, you're not going to be able to manifest something positive on the outside of it. Allison, I missed what you said. Oh, sorry. Because I had said something to you, but I don't know if I didn't catch a comment. Anyways, I'll just keep going. Yeah, don't look at it as a negative. Like the transitions that are happening right now, the transformations and all the transits that we're going through, like it's not even, if you keep looking at it like, woe is me, I'm cursed, nothing's ever going to go my way, yada, yada, that's what you're going to manifest. And I say that all the time. Hi, Allison. I will stress that in 2019. If you are like sitting in a spot where nothing is ever going to go right for you, or life sucks, or this and that and whatever, I mean, like, that's just what you're going to manifest. Yes, thank you, Double R. Stop being a victim. It is all psychological. And I'm not that person that's like, oh yeah, everything's always going to turn out great and dandy. And you guys know that I'm real. Not everything is fun. Not everything is dandy. It's not rainbows and lollipops every single day. That's how it is. But this, the universe doesn't listen to negatives. If you say to the universe, I don't want this, that don't is like, that's what the law of attraction is. When you use the word don't or can't or won't or whatever, the universe doesn't look at that. It's like, I don't want sadness. The universe is going to take that don't right out of there, and it's going to give you more sadness. Oh, really? You don't want, you want more of this? There you go. And I mean, that's the easy way to look at things, really. So, well, yeah, start saying positive things, send out positive energy. And I mean, this is coming from a Virgo, and man, did I get some hell on the Virgo reading where I said that Virgos can be pessimistic. Aw, Ryan. It's not about I'm not about pretending like that everything is peachy and dandy, but I am all about making things peachy and dandy. You got to make the best out of bad situations or tough situations or perceived bad situations. That's that's the way that you manifest things in life. And if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me talk about my past and through. I have not had the easiest upbringing. I didn't have the easiest life. I put myself in really bad, poor decision making situations, but I'm here to just empathize with you guys, but sympathize, because you name it, I've probably been through it. Which, I mean, I say that and I laugh, but I can look back at all of that and be like, damn, how did that girl like really survive all of that? Shut up, Steven. Chicken shit into chicken salad. That's right. I'm really hoping that the Wi-Fi is like holding up tonight. If it's lagging or anything, let me know. Gross, Rhonda. I can't. Maybe with I don't know. See, I would have to do sugar with that. It did make me stronger. It made me the person I am today. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at all of the things that I had to go through. Donna, it might be your connection. Ah, for Pete's sake. We're going to do what we're going to do. I kind of feel like it's because when my energy is like way up here, technology just repels me. And that's the way it always is. And that's how it always goes. Oh, thanks, Rhonda. Okay, do the cards before you lose me. April, hopefully don't put that out in the universe. We're not going to lose this. We're not losing this feed. It's not going to happen. Not like last time. Oh, damn. I love it. Look at that. 10 of Pentacles is the first card that flew out. So, and then the Hermit. Now, what I want to say, 100% what I want to say with this is I'm looking at the 10 of Pentacles kind of in a different way these days. Because is this 10 of Pentacles the way you think you're supposed to live? Or is this 10 of Pentacles really authentic and valuable? Because, and I've said it for a really long time, you can have the house and have the marriage and have the home and have the kids and like all of the stuff and still be super miserable. But that's what the 10 of Pentacles represents, is having all the stuff. So what is the 10 of Pentacles for you? And I feel like this week, like as we go into this energy where we're like fast moving forward, I want you to go within and figure that out. Like, what is the 10 of Pentacles? Because what's the Hermit? The Hermit, you know, it's, I've joked before that the Hermit is like binge watching Netflix and eating an entire pie. It's a good word. Authenticity is a good word. That's one of my 2019 words. The Hermit isn't about just like crawling under the covers and being like, I'm in hermit mode. The Hermit's about really looking within and finding out what your next step is. The Hermit goes to the top of the mountain with a really tiny light to get all the information from source and brings it back down and then teaches everybody. He's the wise teacher. So, and yes, maybe Virgo is my 10 of Pentacles. Maybe that's, but more than anything, I want this energy that's going on right now. If you don't know the path that you're going, or you're kind of confused on the direction that you're headed, look within and find out, is the direction that I'm trying to head in, is it the right one that I'm supposed to be going towards? Or is that the way, is that the way? Stop it, Steven. You're just making me laugh. Hi, Intuition Goddess. It's not about the things. And I think that that's like one of the biggest, like, yes, it's nice to have all the things, but if you're living in a place of misery and you have all the things, then things don't matter. If you're living in a very authentic place and you're really like happy and satisfied with who you are and you have all the things, fantastic. The 10 of Pentacles is yours. But if the 10 of Pentacles is a facade, if it's really pretty on the outside, or if it's a perceived perception of something that's really pretty on the outside, and the 6 of Swords is saying, go to that mental balance in your life. Move away from, I feel like a lot of people are moving away from like thoughts, and like that's what this eclipse energy last weekend was all about. And now you guys are moving away from a perceived idea of what you think your life was supposed to look like, or what you think that your life is going to look like. Because when we get stuck in a perceived notion, or we kind of fantasize, like you can manifest and you can fantasize. The manifesting is, I'm already abundant. I'm already loved. I already have the base shelf, and I already know that I deserve the best relationship with somebody else. That is clear manifestation. When you're manifesting from a place of I want, that's like you in standstill mode and waiting for something to come to you, instead of you realizing that everything that you already have is within. And everything, and even if you're not in the place that you want to be in right now, allowing yourself to recognize that you do have like everything that you need in this moment is really going to help you manifest more of what you need and what you want. And that's the transformation that's happening with the Death card. It's a really big transformation that's happening. And it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So, and I do remember that in the weekend reading, we had the Death card also. So, with the energy of transformation, allowing that to flow and not getting stuck. As I was going to say, not getting stuck, the 10 of Swords came out. Not going to the worst possible case scenario. The 10 of Swords is like, and if you've heard me say it before, the 10 of Swords is like somebody saying, I'm going to text you when I get there, and you never hear from them, and you think they're dead in a ditch on the side of the road. Worst possible case scenario. I'm never going to have that relationship. I'm never going to have that house. I'm never going to have that car. I'm never going to have that person. I'm never going to have that job. I'm never going to have this. That's the 10 of Swords. It's feeling like it's all over. It's all done. But what the 10 of Swords really is a state of mind. And it's also the worst is over because it's a completion. It's a 10. So you're actually moving. God, Steven, seriously, the negativity, man, don't. The moving away from the worst possible case scenario and allowing for the new beginning that's right behind the 10 of Swords. And this transformation that people are going through, and I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people are going through this transformation. This transformation that people are going through right now can really feel like you're dying. It can feel like your entire world is being ripped apart because everything that you thought you stood for or everything that you thought you wanted in life or you were going to get in life there are 2 10s here. So a lot of completion energy, and you have to let those things fall away. If the universe is trying to take something out of your life or take a thought process out of your life or take a job out of your life or a person out of your life, it means that they're no longer resonating with you, or that thought process is no longer resonating with you, or you're not that person anymore. And it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change. And then the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is somebody who is very discerning. And there's not a lot of difference between the Death card and the 10 of Swords, honestly. Except with the Death card, there's a rising. Thank you, Katie. There's a rising from the ashes type, because Scorpios like live in transformational mode from the day that they're like, literally they're constantly transforming. They don't like it because they're fixed, but it's never like, I've never known a Scorpio that has not had a difficult road in their life. I've never known a Scorpio, and they do it with such intensity, but such grace at the same time. It's so like the intensity of how Scorpios do that. But it's always like, they're always like, it's death and rebirth, constant, death and rebirth. The thing is with the 10 of Swords, swords are thoughts. So when it comes right down to it, thoughts are kind of an illusion. It's a fear. It's a fear of things going the worst way, in the worst direction. You're still ending a cycle, and on the other end is going to be probably a lot more clear and a lot better. But when it comes down to it, the 10 of Swords is more of an illusion, and the Scorpio or the Death card is more of that like rising up. But be super discerning right now. Like, I don't want you to take all of this energy that's happening and jump in, because, you know, we talked about like making perceived mistakes in life. I don't really believe in, yes, we all make poor choices. We all do rough things. You know, we all kind of like beat ourselves up. It happens, but they're also lessons that your soul is constantly learning. When you feel like you failed at something, or when you feel like something's not happening the way that you want it to, it's all for a reason. It's all because your soul needed to learn a lesson in that time. So with the with the King of Swords, he's extremely discerning. He's really logical, kind of quiet. The Hermit's kind of quiet. But at the same time, he's not using a lot of emotion to make his decisions. And I kind of feel like, because there's such a big switch from having to use your emotions this weekend into moving into a time where we're using our brains a little bit more, we have to remember to keep it like an active balance between our emotions and our logic, right? And if you find yourself like teeter-tottering where you were really, really heavy in emotions this weekend, and now you're just going to be really, really logical, that's not really the way to do it. I want you to still kind of, because there's a lot of thinking that's going on here. We have swords, 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 pentacles. So you're really thinking about like the structures in your life and the way things are going to go and how things are all going to work and what it is that 10 of Pentacles actually means and how am I, like, stop. That's what Virgos do right there. But it's also what air signs do. And it's also like people who have really heavy air energy in their chart. Like if you have a Mercury, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, if you have a lot of Virgo or Gemini in your chart, that's what people do. They like get into their head and are constantly battling themselves over and over and over again. This is a time, and I would not be surprised if the Four of Swords didn't come out in one of these, because it's not a time to drive yourself crazy with what if, when, how, what, where, why, all the W's. So there's a karmic balance that's happening. And when there's a karmic restructure and a karmic balance that happens, man, yes, we have so much air energy in this reading. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, killing me with the air energy. So we have Justice on the 10 of Pentacles. Justice represents Libra, which is air. But this is all about karmic retribution, karmic balance, and knowing, like, again, going back to what the 10 of Pentacles, what is that perception to you? And how are you balancing that out in your life? How are you allowing the universe to bring that kind of balanced structure in your life? Or are you really, really, really out of balance because you want it to be this way right yesterday, right now, like yesterday, 2 days ago, a week ago? And then we have the Lovers on the Hermit. So there's Gemini energy and both, right? And Mercury right now is in Capricorn, and Mercury in Capricorn wants you to be really, really grounded and think in a very grounded way. But today, especially as the moon was in Aquarius, and it's actually will be in Aquarius today and tomorrow, there will be a lot of like, instead of using your emotions, what happens with people who have Aquarius moons, they can easily detach from situations. Some of them can. I know some Aquarius moon people that cannot detach from situations, but it's for self-preservational purposes. So if you're using your logic side right now, overly using it and cutting out all of the emotions to preserve who you are, then when that balance, or when that like, oh, yeah, I'm looking at you, Stephen. When that balance goes over on the other way, when you start getting emotional again, you're going to be like, oh my God, because you weren't dealing, you know what I'm talking about with the balance thing there? I don't know. I can use a lot of words if you want me to, but I think that everybody kind of understands what they're saying. And this could also be like really needing to look deeper within when it comes to the relationships in your life and what they mean to you. And but the Lovers is also about balancing out your own divine masculine and your own divine feminine within. And that is the intuition, emotional, and logical balance, which I've been talking about. I do feel like there is kind of like an evening of the score when it comes to karmic stuff right now. So watch out for, because Lilith into Pisces in the next, I think it's in the next, by the end of January. And Lilith in Aquarius, like people really, really gossip and talk about other people when Lilith is in Aquarius. There's that forward movement. It's like the hurry up and wait syndrome that's going on here. So on the Six of Swords, where you're trying to balance out your mental capacity on what's going on, we have the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. And the Eight of Wands is that really fast Sagittarian energy that is still kind of moving. Since we have Venus in Sagittarius now, we still have some Sagittarius energy going on. But every planet is also direct. The Eight of Wands represents the Sun in Sagittarius. That's why I said that. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is the waiting, the planting of the seeds and waiting. And so it's this hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. I know the hurry up and wait energy sucks. It's not my favorite either. Like I said, there's so many things that I want to do and I want to get it done right now. But I can't do everything in one day. Like to do something, like too much of something. Like I wanted to get out the Cancer readings and like the Earth sign soulmate readings today. And what happened? I got the Cancer reading like the first half of the year done. The second half of the year had no sound. It was like, but then I realized I wasn't going to be able to get all the soulmate readings done today either because my headache was killing me and I had to take a nap. So it's that hurry up and wait energy. It's going to get done. No, I'm not an Aquarius. I actually don't really have a lot of Aquarius in my chart either. I'm a Virgo sun. But I'm a Libra rising. So I do have air. Well, I do have air in my chart. And yeah, so if you're in that mode where you really want to get everything done, but you're kind of being forced to sit, it's okay. When you try to force something at the wrong time, I'm not even paying attention to you anymore. Steven's like my big brother, which is funny because my big brother's a Gemini and Steven's a Gemini. And that guy will like poke, like don't poke the Virgo, don't poke the bear. And he'll do it. Man, he will do it. Yesterday, I had to tell him I was ignoring him. Thank you very much. So if you see me like Steven, stop. It's because he's acting like the things that my older brother used to do to me, exactly the same. Exactly the same. I know one of you is cool and the other one is not. He thinks he is, but he's not. So the High Priestess on the Death card. I feel like this transformation that's going on, lightening your intuition. And if you're not recognizing it, then I want you to get quiet. This also may pull you, because the High Priestess is like the female version of the Hermit. So if you are feeling this transformation and you don't really want to deal, go within. It's okay. You don't have to always be connecting with people constantly. And I feel like now is the time when everybody feels like because especially with Mercury or with Venus and Sagittarius, it's like fun and happy. That's what happens when I channel. Happy-go-lucky attitudes. But then the heavy Saturn, Pluto, Sun and Pluto conjunction, like all of that. It's like nobody really knows how to feel right now. Like they want to feel like they're in a really good mood, but then they're really heavy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's okay. Just relax. I want to see what this 10 of Swords is. I'm really curious to find out what the fear is, because I feel like the 10 of Swords is just a fear of something being worse than it actually is. Interesting. It's giving you a lot of strength. Whatever you feel like is ending right now, or whatever you feel like didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, it's really giving you a lot of strength, because that's really interesting. This is also the eclipse, the full moon in Leo, eclipse the 0 degrees of Leo on the 21st, which we did talk about how we're kind of in like that transformational phase. There's like this really big forward movement before we get to that eclipse in like full, and this is a full lunar eclipse. And like new moon eclipses are usually supposed to bring things in. I feel like this new moon eclipse was actually opposite of that. I feel like it actually took some things out of your life, or kind of stopped patterns from repeating. And I feel like with the full moon in Leo eclipse, it's going to be more of what are the good things that I can bring back into my life after everything else falls away. I might clarify that again, but I want to see what the King of Swords is. Yeah, it's time to allow yourself. And the King of Swords for me is also kind of standing up for yourself and being discerning. So again, more karmic activity happening. So we have Judgment and the Page of Swords. So I have really small hands. It's so hard for me to hold the cards. Judgment and the Page of Swords. I feel like this is serious. This is a clearing. This is like a clearing of the things that are no longer serving you, because there are so many good things that want to come into your life. And you know what it is. Like, you know what it is that is not good for you. If it doesn't feel right, if it's something that you're constantly battling, if it's not a place, a person, a situation, whatever it is, if it does not feel good, and it doesn't feel good for a really, like, I mean, of course, we're going to go through things where like we're in a relationship with somebody, or we're at a job and it just sucks one day, or it's terrible. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the constant nagging of your soul that it just is not right for you. It's trying to be removed. And if you don't allow for that to be removed out of your life, you can't receive all the good things that really want to come in. It's like blocking, right? It's like you're using your free will to keep all the negatives in your life, instead of using your free will to bring in all the good stuff in your life. If that makes sense. So yeah, 3 of Wands. Ooh, more discernment. Queen of Swords. That's really funny. I didn't even think about this. Like, it just dawned on me, because I didn't even get to watch the whole reading. Eric with Divine Conversations, his morning coffee was all about discernment this morning. Funny how that works, right? See? Same energy. 8 of Cups. 5 of Wands. You guys are walking away from all of the bullshit. Like, it's time to remove. And this is also inner conflict. Walking away, like removing all of the inner conflict in your life that is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you bound to where you are. And the more you start to remove all the negatives in your life, the more positives that'll start coming in. And I'm even talking like thought processes and ideas. The more you remove those negative thought processes in your life, that things are never going to work, yada, yada, yada. Kind of what we talked about before. You have a lot of, this is, again, the 3 of Wands is like a kind of a waiting card, but it's also really looking into your future. And I feel like what the Queen of Swords is trying to say is, yes, it's fine to look into your future, but be present in the moment as well. So allow that energy to be there, right? To be able to look into the future, but don't put so much stock into it that you're building a future that's like in fantasy land. Be like soon in your life and removing all of the bullshit at the same time, because 2019 is not going to let you hold on to things that aren't serving you. And if you do, if you practice your free will and you do hold on to things that aren't serving you, you're going to be miserable. And then you're going to start commenting on all the videos about how it's horrible in your life and you're, stuck and you don't know what to do. And it's like, everybody is saying to move forward. Everybody. I did say a bad word. What was that? I didn't even know what I said. Anyway, let's see. Let's get these last couple of cards. Okay. Heart some days. And you don't even realize you're doing it until it actually happens. Because the Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like it's kind of like this situation where you really want to push forward and you're trying to do the planning, right? Where are you putting your energy? The Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is asking you, where are you putting your energy? Are you giving it to people, places, and things that are going to be good for you? Pick an element. I don't care. Are you giving it to people, places, and things that are going to be good for you? Or are you giving it to people, places, and things that are just going to drag you down? On a daily basis, where are you placing your energy? Because if you're constantly giving to things that are no longer giving back to you, maybe they gave it to you at one point, but if they're no longer giving it back to you, that's where you're keeping yourself stuck. And the Two of Pentacles is that vacillating on, what do I do? What do I do? What's my next move? Where am I going to go? Because clearly with the Sun and the Two of Wands, clearly you know what direction you want to go in or where you want to be headed, or like a perceived idea of what your future looks like, because the Three of Wands is over here, right? And being in the present moment is being asked of you. But in order for you to move forward, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. And even if you're making decisions and you're like still beating your head up against a brick wall as you make these decisions, they may not be the right decisions. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. That's how I usually make decisions these days. I can still make poor choices. I'm human after all, right? Spiritual being living a human experience. That's me. If it doesn't sit right with me, I don't do it. If it doesn't feel good in my soul, I don't do it. Thank you, Kayla. And the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck, the last card that I'm going to pull. I feel like there's a lot of heartbreak, but I also feel like there's a lot of heart chakra activations that are happening. I felt it yesterday. Like it was yesterday. And it needs to happen though, because when we have those heart chakra activations and the things that come up with it, it's purging so many old cycles and old lessons and like really making you recognize and see where you have been lying to yourself. And this may very well be you taking the time to remove all of those swords out of it. Because what are swords? They're thoughts again. So you're thinking back to days gone by when life seemed a little bit easier or better or whatnot. I want to get back to there. I want to get back to there. Were you really happy, or was it all pretty on the outside? I'm not even paying attention to Steven anymore. I'm not even going to do it because he's tripping me up. Can't do it. So yeah, when you find yourself in a place of, I don't know, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right place? What do I do? What do I do? Is it all worth it? What do I do? Stop, think, or just get quiet. Go within. This Hermit card is it's kind of the same thing as the both of these people go to the top of the mountain, right? The Eight of Cups and the Hermit. They both go to the top of the mountain. One of them is leaving things behind. The other one's bringing things back. So get quiet Write things down so you don't forget. And don't beat yourself up. That's like the biggest thing right now. Don't beat yourself up. End of reading. That was a good reading. I've forgotten it all now. That always happens to me when I'm like rolling in the intuition. I forget everything. Now I'm curious to see what everybody's. I don't make the same mistake twice. I make it 5, 6, 7 times. Yeah. I know. Yeah, me too. It happens. I did too. Feel the chills. Karmic, is that good or bad? Karma can be good or bad. Shut you out. Sorry. Steve. Oh my God. I'm going to ban you from chats. I'm going to ban you from chats. Such a brat. I should tell you stories of what my brother used to do because I so know that, like, if Steven would have been my brother growing up, he would have done the same thing. Would have done the same thing. My brother was mean to me. Poke, 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 poke. Yeah. Did you get influenza because you're purging? No, I don't think you got influenza because you're purging. You probably got it because you came in contact with somebody who had the flu. I know that I got sick because my son was sick, but I also know that there were a lot of negative energies that I had built up through 2018. And that's why I was sick for so long, because I had to like eventually go on 2 rounds of antibiotics to get well. And it was like totally lost my voice, totally like I was done. I was laid out in bed for 7 days. Ask anybody how miserable I was. It was horrible. All I wanted to do was work. You're welcome. Hi, Ellen. Some mad juju? Throw some mad juju at me. I'm like imagining everybody doing this. Oh, I wanted to tell everybody I have a couple of openings for the last week in January for readings. So I was looking at my calendar today. Looking at my calendar and so I could, okay, so I have openings the 28th, 29th. Oh no, the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st for Jan. So if you want a reading in January, I highly suggest that you book it with me right now. Otherwise, everything's going to go into February. So if you want to know how things are going, and readings are kind of like on point these days, man. The veil is super, super thin. Can you purge people in your life too much? No. You have no idea how many people I've lost in my life since I started. You do need an emergency, Stephen. You have some issues for real. Where are your readings? I want to see your work. Come on. I've been trying to get you to do your work for days. So, yeah, he's a riot. I forgot. I totally lost my. See, that's what he does. He makes me lose my train of thought because seriously. No, I am not married. I have been there, been down that road twice. Get on it, Cal. Get on it. She's smart. Why? Because I'm not married? Everybody go check out Steven's channel. I don't know if he's done his January readings yet, but wink, wink. Get them done. No, I don't have a crush on Steven. Don't. No, he is not. He's not my crush worthy. Not that he's a bad guy. He's a fantastic guy. I just don't have, he's like a brother to me. He's like the kid that pushes me down on the playground. My readings scare you. Where's your book, Cal? See, now I'm going to start pushing everybody to get their stuff done. All right, Cal needs his book done. Steven needs his readings done. How do we know that was coming? The Nope. Starborn Messenger is his link to his reading page. Seriously, Cal, I want to see the book. Ugh. Yeah, you were that guy. Yeah, if you click on his link, on Steven's link, it'll go straight there. He also does, everyone needs to do their book. Oh, yeah, Kara, thanks. Thanks for that. I'm ready to read it. Cal's going to be a famous writer someday, and I'm going to promote him. He's going to have a big book. I think everybody wants to go live together soon. No. 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 Eric and I are supposed to be going live. Sarah, I already did the reading. He's a pain in my ass, David. Don't let his jokes. Right? Ryan knows what I'm saying. He gets me. Ryan gets me. You're welcome, Hector. I love being live with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't really like rewatching it. So if you're still watching, or if you're watching the repeat, you can turn it off now. The reading's done. You're welcome. And really take care of yourself this week, you guys, because what did they, don't, Steven, with the jokes. Oh my God. I'm banning you. I'm going to ban you from the chat. I'm going to do more live readings. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say. Patreon. Oh my God. Patreon. If you guys don't know what that is, it's just another kind of like a media outlet that you can do more on. And that's where all of like my twin flame readings are going to be. That's where all of the extended readings are going to eventually go. January is the last month that I'll be using Vimeo for any extended readings, but Patreon I'll be uploading. So, and there are 3 different tiers that you can do, and it's like a subscription. So you don't have to worry about like going back and buying things. You just like put the subscription in and you go there and have access to everything. I haven't uploaded anything yet, but that's going to start this week. Oh, is that you that supported the Patreon? Thank you. Oh, Jamie, that's you. That's right. Thank you, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Namaste is what she said. Namaste is what she said, Kara. That was. Thank you, Kayla. You too. Any recommendations with twin flames or soulmates? I would honestly, my biggest thing right now with the whole twin flame soulmate thing that's going on is really focus on yourself more than anything. Because the more you focus on somebody else's journey and somebody else's energy and how they're feeling about the situation or how they're doing or what's going on and this and this and this, the less you are focusing your energy on yourself. And when it comes to the twin, this goes for people who are in relationships with people, or they were once in relationships with people and they're not in contact anymore. Like, I'm not talking about if you're in a relationship or you're dating somebody or something like that. Yes, of course, like the equal exchange of focusing on each other's energy, perfectly fine. I'm talking about if you are in separation with somebody, being focused on their journey while you're in separation is, yes, Ryan, self-focus is legit. You got to be a better me in order to find a better we. That's so true. But if you're focusing on somebody who's not focusing on you, no, like, I'm afraid, don't do it. Don't do it. My nose is starting to get stuffy. I've had like super overactive third eye going on this week. No, I don't speak Polish. I don't know why would you ask that? I don't know. You do need your space. You've got to, and I'm a firm believer in holding space for people, but not waiting for them. Like, you can hold space for a person. You can hold space for a person and not stop your life while you're holding space. All right, I'm going to end this because I'm starting to get really stuffy and my headache's coming back. So I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I made so much sense. I'm glad that I made sense to somebody because I'm not sure I made sense to myself, but I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. Even if you think they need you, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, if you're giving your energy away to somebody and they're not giving it back to you, not okay. That's not like a balanced union. All right, guys. I love you. Have a good night. Be good to yourselves this week.